Welcome, I'm Raul Lowry Contreras, and this is the Contreras Report International Edition for July 22, 2021. Today, we talk about border tensions, not between the U.S. and Mexico, but between Armenia and Azerbaijan. The fragile post-war situation between Armenia and Azerbaijan has been heating up again, with regular skirmishes both on the border between the two countries as well as in the Karabakh region. It started on July 6 when Azerbaijan reported the use of firearms by Armenians against Azerbaijani positions in the liberated Aghdam region. On July 13 and 15, similar clashes happened around the liberated city of Shusha. Also, the armed forces of both countries clashed in various parts of their state borders. As per reports from respective defense ministries, an Azerbaijani soldier was wounded in Aghdam and an Armenian soldier was killed in the Yarasak area of the state border. The skirmishes were followed by usual mutual accusations. Though skirmishes on the Armenian-Azerbaijani state border have been more or less regular since the end of last fall's 44-day war, the escalation of violence in the territory of Karabakh, where Russian peacekeepers have been temporarily deployed, is something quite new. More striking has been the way the Russian Ministry of Defense has characterized the armed hostility around Shusha. As per its report, the shooting took place, quote, between units of the armed forces of Azerbaijan and Armenia, unquote. This formulation can be considered an admission by Russia of its failure to ensure the withdrawal of all armed forces of Armenia from Azerbaijan in accordance with the November 10th trilateral statement signed by leaders of Russia, Armenia, and Azerbaijan. Since last year's war, Armenians in Karabakh were regularly assuring that the Armenian armed forces still located inside Karabakh are ethnic Armenians from this region and not the conscripts from Armenia. The same were the claims from Armenia, which denied sending any troops into Azerbaijan after the war. The admission of the existence of armed forces of Armenia in areas that are under Russian peacekeepers' control has caused much anger among the Azerbaijani public and government, evoking much criticism of the Russian role in implementing the provisions of the November 10th agreement. There was also no statement from the joint Russian-Turkish ceasefire monitoring center based in Aghdam. According to observers, it is possibly due to disagreements on who was to blame for the renewed violence. 8 months after the end of the war, Armenia and Azerbaijan continue to disagree on several key issues. Azerbaijan has been officially calling on Armenia to start negotiations for a peace treaty based on mutual recognition of each other's territorial integrity. For Armenia, that would mean the recognition of Nagorno-Karabakh as part of the Republic of Azerbaijan, which actually would be in line with UN Security Council resolutions and international law that consider this region as part of Azerbaijan. Obviously, Armenia disagrees and insists on starting talks on the region's status under the aegis of the OSCE Minsk group. What Armenia means, and has always meant under the word status, quote unquote, is the full independence for Nagorno-Karabakh, a kind of second Armenian state at the expense of Azerbaijan's sovereign territory. Armenia's insistence on status has become even more forceful after a series of meetings and phone talks with French officials. France, which openly took Armenia's side in the latest war, seems to be willing to get back in the game via the status talks. Azerbaijan has rejected the very idea of a status for Nagorno-Karabakh, stating that the conflict has been resolved. Azerbaijan's territorial integrity has been restored, and ethnic Armenians of Karabakh will be reintegrated into Azerbaijan society, enjoying all the rights as all other citizens of Azerbaijan. Also, Azerbaijan has repeatedly announced that there is no region in Azerbaijan called Nagorno-Karabakh and has not been in existence since 1991, when this artificially carved out Soviet entity created by Joseph Stalin within Soviet Azerbaijan was abolished. Azerbaijan has recently established two economic regions called Karabakh and East Zangezur, which cover the areas that were under Armenia's occupation till last fall. The areas where now Russian peacekeepers are deployed are part of the Karabakh Economic Region. Another thorn in relations is the opening of all communications between the two countries as stipulated by the November statement. Azerbaijan has provided the ethnic Armenians of Karabakh with unimpeded access via the so-called Lachen corridor. In line with the November statement, Azerbaijan demands a corridor for railroad and highway connections via Armenia's Zangezur region to be linked to its Nakhchivan region. Armenia continues to refuse to provide such a corridor and has suspended all negotiations with Azerbaijan in this regard as of June 1. The third problematic issue is the demarcation and delimitation of the state border between Armenia and Azerbaijan. In some parts of the border, there has been some progress in demarcation as a result of direct contacts between the two countries, their militaries, without any foreign mediation. In many other parts, the situation remains tense as both countries refer to different Soviet-era maps to substantiate their positions. Armenian Prime Minister has suggested the deployment of Russian and Western peacekeepers alongside a major portion of the border. The European Union has also offered its assistance with the demarcation. It remains to be seen how this and other thorny issues will be resolved given the geopolitical situation of the region and Armenia's domestic politics. We shall see. This is Raul Lowry Contreras. Subscribe to this channel and you will be updated whenever there is a new episode of the Contreras Report. You can also send me an email with your questions and I promise to respond. The email address will appear on the screen in a few seconds. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.